This is how to have success in wrestling. If you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you're a little bit frustrated, you have to find fertile soil, right? So find the best coaches and program and live there. Even if you have to drive, we have parents driving 7 hours round trip to our practice. I bet 40 athletes we have drive over 5 hours round trip. Now our practices are 2 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we try to make it worth it for them. But the soil has to be fertile, right? Just like that bean field right there. I live out here in Augusta, Missouri. You'll never get me out of this place. Just outside of St. Louis, 30 miles from our commercial property, our wrestling training center. But this soil out here is very fertile. But you still have to farm it, right? So a great farmer with great seed, with no fertile soil, is shooting himself in the foot, spinning his wheels like some of you are. Then you can have this fertile soil, but if someone but the farmer's lazy, not committed, just wants to get by, right? A lot of wrestlers are like that. It's fine, right? You'll probably be successful in other things. It's okay. But if you're just like, I'm gonna get by a little bit, well, then you're not gonna have this thousands of acres of beans and corn around here, right? So you need both. So I assume don't just want to get by, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. So you have to find fertile soil. I wouldn't just find the team that's winning the most, because if they're recruiting, there's a few teams around St. Louis and Missouri, they just recruit everybody, right? They call it the select team, or they recruit kids from 3 and 4 different states to their high school team, which is fine, right? I'm not knocking them, right? But you can't necessarily say that they're an amazing coaches. They're just good recruiters, right? Nothing wrong with that either. But that doesn't mean that's a place to be. I know a handful of coaches all over the nation. They struggle to win state titles or have never done it, but that's who I'd send my kids to, right? Because they're among the best coaches in their states. So find a tremendous coach and live there. Oklahoma State says you're at the best place to train in the world. If you don't make it here, it's your fault. Big deer tracks right here. It's your fault. And they said that to us 25 years ago when I was there. My son was there on a college visit 2 years ago. They said the same thing. And I'm like, dang, they're still talking about this fact, this truth. They go, look at the All-Americans, look at the NCAA champions, look at the Olympians. There's a wall of Olympic champions there with their names and pictures. If they can do it, you can do it. Sure, not everybody's going to accomplish all of their goals, but you should, our phrase is 98%. I need to, win 98%, accomplish my goals, almost all of them. And if I fail in a few of my wrestling goals, you meet your academic goals, your family goals, maybe your financial goals one day, your personal relationship goals, your marriage goals, your physical fitness goals, your parenting goals. There's many different chapters in your life, right? And this is something that I learned over the years too. So yeah, not everyone's going to be an Olympic champion, right? Just like not everyone's going to be a billionaire. I mean, it is what it is. But you just have to be a monster, right? John Smith used to say, be top 5% in the world. And everything that's important to you that you choose to do, you want to be top 5% in the world at it. Because if you're top 5% in the world at what you're choosing to do, you're going to hit that number one a handful of times. And it's a beautiful place to be. And that was a conversation he had with me when I was one of his main training partners when he was still training. Made a lot of sense. Put it in perspective, right? But so you're a hard worker, you want it, and you just need to find some fertile soil. So try to dig around and find a coach or environment and plant yourself there. Then take the Oklahoma State approach that says, Okay, I'm in fertile soil. Now it's up to me because I have a 90-10 kind of rule. If you don't have tremendous training opportunities, that's 90% of your problem. But if you do and you live there, that's only 10% of your success, because the other 90% is on you. You have to be a great farmer, right? Just like that field over there. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, what happens if you don't have fertile soil around you? Well, create your own, right? So this is not meant to as a sales tactic, but our online wrestling academy would probably be all you need. Colton Schultz, world team member, world champion, Nick Lee, Stefan Mishik, all these guys, they grew up training on our DVD series. Colton Schultz was homeschooled and did our now it's on streaming online. Our DVD series, our system to wrestling is called Foundation Wrestling. It's trademarked. We broke wrestling down into 4 levels 20 years ago and put it on DVD system in 2005. We broke wrestling down into 4 parts: basics, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Just like gymnastics is taught in levels, jiu-jitsu and martial arts is taught in a belt series. We teach wrestling in phases. So that might be a good thing. So you get 4 or 5 like-minded wrestlers and or moms and dads, and you say, we're going to have to create our own training opportunities. So now you figure out somehow to get access to a wrestling room, or you all chip in and you finish out a basement or a workshop. All right, the Valencia boys, they grew up in Monster Garage. Their dad built the garage into a wrestling room, and I don't know how many world-class wrestlers came out of that program. So you definitely want to build yourself into build yourself a place to train. Get 4 or 5 parents and wrestlers who are tremendous. We live out here in Hoosierville. I love it. They drive those things all over. So then you hit the best, find the best camp or 2 in America and hit those. And then you have maybe 1 day a week you go to your youth or middle school, your club practice. Obviously, you high school kids, you go to your high school room. But otherwise, you have to bypass that, right? You have to bypass these programs. If it's not fertile soil, you want to train on your own. So you say, well, I'm going to train once or twice a week. Maybe with my high school team has open mat. Another 3 days a week. Another 3 days a week, I'm going to train on my own with my 4 or 5 partners. And if you don't want our system, it's $179 to get in, one-time fee, and that's $14 a month. Super affordable. People say, why do you charge money for that? Do you realize what it costs to advertise products? Right? They say it only costs 10 cents to make an iPhone. Well, yeah, but it costs $500 million to advertise it. Packaging's billions of dollars, right? Paying people to sell it. So it's $14 a month, not a big deal. But if you want to create your own system, or maybe you have a great wrestling opportunities as far as you maybe some of your wrestling dads were college wrestlers and stuff, you can create your own drill plan. But once you have a drill plan, then you hammer that in your little group 2 to 3 times a week, and you try to navigate around and create your own fertile training soil. So that's really the only way to make it. And I would say probably about 98% of you watching this, that's where you're at. You don't have one of the best wrestling academies in America within an hour and a half of your house, right? You're not from a wrestling state. You don't have these opportunities. So creating your own, that's what my brother and I did. Back when we were kids, we sold our 4-wheeler, bought a wrestling mat, got a book, and started drilling out of that book. And I had good coaches too. and we wrote every wrestling technique that we knew down on a piece of paper that were taped all over our wrestling room. And we had a wrestling, now I have a twin brother, identical twin. He was actually top 10 in the world. He was a great wrestler, NCAA champ. I was an All-American at Oklahoma State, so we both had good wrestling careers. He was ranked number 2 in the nation in high school. I was ranked number 1 graduating. He earned the number 2 ranking in the NCAAs and won the national title. I earned the number 1 ranking in the NCAAs and college wrestling Division I my junior year, but we were ineligible. There's a book written about that. We got the death penalty by the NCAA. The Cowboys Ride Again. There's a book written about, I was right in the middle of all that mess. So I lost my sophomore and junior year, and senior year I was ranked number 1 in the nation too, and wasn't able to get it done, but I was All-American. So, you know, here I am turning 50 soon. I've been coaching full-time since 1999. Basically started the wrestling academy industry. It's all over now, right? Now a lot of us go into club wrestling, and our program, we have both. We have academy and club. But anyway, have our own 17,000 square foot training center. You can go to YouTube. There's 650 videos like this on there. Sharing advice, trying to help you guys to crunch time and have success. But you went to YouTube to our videos. You also just can look at our facility tour. It's called Combative Sports Athletic Center. Our facility tour videos there. We have overnight camps. We had kids flying in from Japan this year for camps. 40 different states. We sold out 70 days in a row. Turned away probably 400 or 500 kids. But as far as your, you know, ability to have success, you're going to have to do what my brother and I did. Now, obviously, I was at an advantage because I have a twin brother. You don't have a twin brother, you're going to have to bring in partners. There's no one around me. There's one, right? You can't tell me there's not one kid within 45 minutes that wants to not get his freaking head beat in every weekend. You got to tell me that. You know there is. So once you have your drill plan taped to the wall, you hammer that thing twice a week. You go to a regular practice once a week, maybe twice. And then you find the best camp or so too that you love, that's proven to be number 1. And you go every single year. And you just start freaking attacking. And you take the 90-10 approach. Because right now, 90% of your problem is you don't have fertile soil. Fix that. It doesn't have to be the best soil in the whole freaking world. It's just got to be damn good. That's not that hard to create damn good, right? Then you say, now I have the soil is fertile. Now the fertile soil is only 10% of it. Now it's up to me. Now it's up to me to hammer, just like a great farmer hammers, right? So that's how I was able to make it out of small town Missouri and have great success in college wrestling, got my school paid for. My brother did the same thing. We had to create our own fertile soil. But if you live near some fertile soil, do that. Probably do a little bit of both isn't bad either, right? One more thing that we offer you might have interest in is our private team camps. We'll come and teach you your whole team or your small group, our entire system. And it's also used as a fundraiser. We have teams make over 10 grand tax-free in a week of camp. Our camps draw a crowd. That's just the way it is. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying it how it is. So we get a flat fee depending upon if you do a 2.5 day or a 5-day camp. During the school year, we do 2.5 day camps. And you know, if that's something you're interested in, I won't mention the price because sometimes these things change. And on rare occasion, we offer 4-day options. And it's just, you know, it's basically $40 a day per kid is what our price is. So super affordable if anybody has interest. And as far as money, think about this. Some of you will spend $700 going on a so-called national tournament, and you get 14 minutes of wrestling, and you're just excited all the way home because you got a $2 medal. But when someone says, hey, I got 30 hours of wrestling camp, $4.99. It's overnight meals, right? Supervision, fun, 30 hours of wrestling. You're going to get 60 matches worth of live. And you say, that's too expensive. I'm like, dude, you just spent $600 on 14 minutes. How could you not spend $4.99 on 30 hours? And you're going to get all those matches, right? Our competition camps, these kids get 40 matches worth of live in one weekend. It's for $175, our competition camps. But anyway, so there's maybe some, I think some of us are so bogged down into cost of everything that you're not really looking at, you're already blowing so much money on these stupid tournaments. That's what's expensive. The training is cheap, right? And whether you use our training opportunities or not, you know, there's probably other good ones out there. Buy theirs. Just freaking dive in and, you know, skip one tournament on a weekend. By the time you take the family to dinner, it's gonna be $120, and your kid might get 4 minutes of wrestling, right? Just skip one tournament a year and save that money and get a home wrestling mat. Get a good scale, right? Get a good online academy program. Just go crazy with it. But there's my advice on what to do if you're frustrated and spinning your wheels. And if we can help, PurlerWrestling.com, Nick at PurlerWrestling.com, Purler Wrestling.com. If we can help, let me know. And if you enjoy this video, share it. Send it to somebody. I enjoy sharing what I know. And hopefully it was beneficial. Good luck.